Greetings, this is Rashilo. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Rashilo said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir?
Yes, chat people, this is Michael Shemai representing. I will say, hear the lion voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, the original dread.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it's Exodus. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the lion's voice.
African pride, root of all nations, boy. I tried with the lion, the Rastafari. Lion of it tried with lioness like I do. Empress on the front line, we need you. Well, this is Medicine, the steady one, and you are now tuned in to the Lion's Voice Network. What the lion fought for do? Scorch them. Roast and parch them.
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
The time has come for lions to tell our own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I is Rastafari chilling from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, man, bring it to your Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, look how we work together, Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Hail I, Rastafari, His Majesty and Empress men in bless. Yeah man, hail him from St. Croix, Rastafari, hail you.
Aye.
Empress Manel, Alliance, oh, universally unfold, be told, Blessed love, this is Itege Idama, and it's time for the lioness and the lion's voices to be heard. This is the lion's voice, Rastafari.
Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use a yet an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the power to chant. Jah give her the power to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice, Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to the lion voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story. from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, you know, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, it's a beautiful continent, better control, mama.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile for Mama.
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I seen Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first without apology. And then we build the youth them economy. We dismantle Babylon monopoly. We teach the youth them how to live properly. Tell them make sure them got the title fit them property.
Yes, this beautiful continent, better control.
iRoots Records, an online shop for reggae and dub vinyl, CDs and Rastafari books. Rastafari owned and operated for over 15 years. We ship worldwide. We have many titles from Frontline Publications in stock. We have 50 plus Akabeka Midnight titles, which we believe is the most of any shop in the world. Special invite for the Lion Pride. Use code Lion's Voice and save 10% store-wide. If you spend $125 or more, the discount goes up to 15%. Visit us online at www.irootsrecords.com. The time has come. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Banso, aka the Chasmach Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk Live. Welcome to Lion Talk Live and welcome to the Lion Voice network, where the lions are telling our own story. Tonight we have a brethren from straight out of the Nyahbinghi house in Jamaica. His name is Earthquake. And we are going to be talking to him about the upcoming ISIS in Malvern, St. Elizabeth. It's the annual ISIS, and we're going to be talking about the preparation, but we're also going to hear about the brethren personal journey. We're working on getting him into the system. This brethren don't really do interview, you know, it's just because of the big Lion Voice network. Why? The brethren is coming forward. So this is going to be an exciting episode for the global family. We're really looking forward for this fullness. And as you know, we are working toward African Liberation Day, the formation of the OAU, and we want to take a deep dive. We have a panel that we're planning that's going to be different ones from different African countries on the platform. So I want the item, stay tuned for that. I'm going to play a little short video to start off, just to give some historical content as we get closer to the date. We want just, you know what I mean? We want just glorify the history, because the history is so critical for I and I, you know what I mean? The history is so crucial for I and I. Make sure that we have the real history of the OAU and what was going on. I just reasoned with a Ras from Guinea today, and so it is serious things. So I'm gonna play a little short video while we work on getting our brethren earthquake situated from a technology standpoint, and we're gonna come right forward to the family. So if you're watching wherever you're watching from, the item already know how we do it here. Let us know where you're watching from. Big up to all of the Lion Pride, our great brethren and sisters who have been supporting I and I from them time there till now. What a joy. So I'm gonna just bring on a short video about the history, and then we're going to bring forward our guest for the day, who is the great earthquake, and I'll give you some history on this brethren. You know, important to Iman Chad, the first full Nyahbinghi I ever chad to, where I stayed from beginning to end, was this same Nyahbinghi in Malvern, St. Elizabeth, you know what I mean? So it's a special occasion to I and I to even support, and we're going to be asking the family to help support the brethren in terms of bringing this ISIS forward, the brethren diligently every year, you know what I mean? Every single year since I know the brethren, he advocate for this bingy and make sure the grounds them irie. And so it's an honor for I to bring him on the platform. And as I tell the item, I know so many ones that have not come on the platform. I've known this brethren over 20 years, you know what I mean? And he just now featuring on the Lion Voice. So that just shows you. So let's
May 1963,
let's
32
let me
independent
know if you
African
can
states
hear.
with genuine hopes and visions of the continent of Africa came together in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, to create the Organization of African Unity, OAU. The OAU is the predecessor of the current African Union, also known as the AU. It started its operations on the 13th of September 1963, when its charter was adopted, committed to bring about change and freedom to many African countries and restore the dignity of African people. But the origins of the OAU were difficult. In fact, the idea almost collapsed before it could get off the ground because of ideological differences that were deeply rooted in the continent's colonial past.
Hold on there.
The formation of the
Hold on
OAU
there.
was
We have
rooted in
some
the idea of
technical.
Pan-Africanism,
Hold on.
which
Let me rewind it from there. Hold on there. We're working out something here with the layout. So just forgive I. You know, anytime this happens, you know that the Queen is not present. So I'm flying solo tonight without my key administration, but we're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out, family. Through the powers of the King. Yes. Let me do this. Let me do this. and bring it forward. All right, that is better. And then let me do this. Give thanks for the patience. Lion Pride know that we don't rush and we don't panic. We just making the thing irate. So all right, let me know if you can hear the
started to
sound. Drop
independent
a
African
sound.
states with genuine hopes and visions of the continent of Africa came together in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, to create the Organization of African Unity, OAU. The OAU is the predecessor of the current African Union, also known as the AU. It started its operations on the 13th of September 1963, when its charter was adopted, committed to bring about change and freedom to many African countries and restore the dignity of African people. But the origins of the OAU were difficult. In fact, the idea almost collapsed before it could get off the ground because of ideological differences that were deeply rooted in the continent's colonial past. The formation of the OAU was rooted in the idea of Pan-Africanism, which originated in the US in the late 19th century. Thousands of blacks with African origins found it intolerable to bear the organizing experience of racial discrimination and alienation. Some of the prominent leaders were Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois and Marcus Garvey, who raised the flag of revolt against the prevailing injustice. Building on this, Marcus Garvey, a black nationalist, urged the return of Africans to the continent, which he attempted to facilitate through the establishment of a shipping company, the Black Star Line, aimed at transporting black Africans back to Africa. On the continent itself, several prominent intellectuals and heads of state, such as Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, Ahmed Sékou Touré of Guinea, and Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia, took up the cause of advancing the Pan-African ideal. A series of Pan-African congresses were convened to further the interests of African peoples and discuss methods to achieve a unification. When Ghana became independent in 1958, Kwame Nkrumah linked Ghana's independence to that of Africa, recognizing that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the continent. Nkrumah therefore established a series of conferences hosted in Accra between 1958 and 1960, with the aims of assisting countries still under colonial rule. During the conferences, Nkrumah presented a vision of the United States of Africa. To his disappointment, the majority of those in attendance were overwhelmingly against the idea. The disagreements led to the emergence of three ideological blocs on the African continent, which included the Casablanca Group, Monrovia Group, and the Brazzaville Group. It is these three groups and their differences that would give birth to the OAU. Meeting in Casablanca, the capital of Morocco, in early 1961, Kwame Nkrumah, Sékou Touré, Gamal Abdel Nasser, and Modibo Keïta resolved to strongly oppose colonialism, racism, neocolonialism, and formation of an African military high command. Other members of the group included Libya, Morocco, and Algeria. During the height of the Katanga secessionist movement in the Congo, the Casablanca powers resolved to extend support to Patrice Lumumba's efforts to oust the Belgians from the Congo, demanded French withdrawal from Algeria, and condemned the apartheid system in Southern Africa. Apart from being critical of the French nuclear testing in the Sahara, the group was also worried about neocolonial ties between France and its former colonies. So, Ghana and Guinea provided support to anti-West parties, which included to topple pro-French regimes in Francophone Africa by mobilizing support for radical forces from within and outside Africa. The members of the Casablanca Group aimed at building a United States of Africa, of which Nkrumah would be the head, with a common monetary, foreign, and defense policy. In contrast to the Casablanca Group was the Monrovia Group, named after the capital of Liberia, where they held their first ever meeting in May 1961. The Monrovia Group allied with the Brazzaville Group.
Grab your guitar and learn David Bowie's iconic hits, only on Musician. Join millions of guitar players around the world on
which included Francophone states like Ivory Coast, Gabon, Niger, Senegal, Upper Volta, and Mauritania. In addition, it had members like Nigeria, Somalia, and Liberia. The group stood for protecting national sovereignty, territorial integrity, and the independence of its members. They were strictly opposed to the idea of a United States of Africa. They strongly defended the principle of mutual non-interference in interstate relations, although they welcomed interstate technical and economic cooperation. Instead of snapping ties with the West, the Monrovia Bloc sought Western cooperation in the process of promoting development. Several African leaders, including Tanzania's Julius Nyerere and Nigeria's Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, were supportive of the idea of African unity. But many felt that Nkrumah's grand vision for the United States of Africa was overreaching and risked dissolving the sovereignty and territorial integrity, a point of particular contention among countries who had recently gained independence and fought hard for their sovereignty. By the early 1960s, most of the independent African states had pledged allegiance to either the Monrovia or the Casablanca Group. And at this stage, majority had sided with the Monrovia Bloc, with 20 supporters out of the 27 independent African states at the time. To attract more members on either sides, both groups reached out to Ethiopia in January 1962. They sent out invitations to Ethiopia to attend their conferences. The Casablanca Group had a conference in Cairo, while the Monrovia Group had a conference in Lagos. Emperor Haile Selassie, the Ethiopian leader, used the invitations as an opportunity to mediate between the two factions. So he attended the Monrovia Group conference in January 1962 in Lagos, Nigeria. While there, he lobbied to host the next conference in 1963 and promised to have the Casablanca powers in attendance. The emperor received no resistance since Ethiopia was seen as an acceptable venue by both groups who were desperate to get a solution to their disagreements. With the Monrovia Group on board, the Ethiopians, through its foreign minister, Ketema Yifru, reached out to the president of Guinea, Sekou Touré. During the Casablanca Group conference in June 1962, Haile Selassie invited Touré for a state visit to Ethiopia, which he duly accepted. At the visit, the emperor pointed out that the conflicting views of the Monrovia and Casablanca groups could create a permanent division on the continent, and advised the Guinean delegation that it was in the best interest of both governments to stop such a drastic occurrence from taking place. In the end, the two heads of state issued a communique that stated that both governments believed the gap between the two blocs was soaring. Therefore, to protect the continent from falling into harm's way, the governments of Ethiopia and Guinea had called an all-African summit conference in Addis Ababa, hoping to resolve the differences that had existed between the Casablanca and Monrovia blocs. By May 1963, 32 independent African states had accepted the invitation to attend the All-Independent African Conference in Addis Ababa that included, above all, drafting a new charter. Reconciling the two rival groups was simple because both groups were moving in the same direction and had a lot in common. Eventually, they concentrated on cooperating on the issues of common concern coupled with mediatory effects of Ethiopia. During the conference, the Charter of the OAU was adopted as an outcome of a compromise between the two contradictory approaches. On the one hand, the Charter pledged to oppose colonialism, racism, and neocolonialism, which satisfied the Casablanca powers. And on the other hand, it comforted the Monrovia Group by upholding the principle of non-interference and defense of territorial sovereignty in interstate affairs. After some deliberations, 32 heads of state signed the OAU Charter in Addis Ababa on the 25th of May 1963, marking the birth of the OAU.
All right, so I'm not gonna play the whole video. Big up Afri Story Productions, YouTube channel, 89,000 subscribers. You can go and watch it there. We're working on bringing on our good brethren Earthquake. He's not so tech savvy and he's up in the hills of Malvern, St. Elizabeth. So we're working on it, family. So we're just going to be patient. I have the Queen talking through. But while we wait for him, we have a lot to talk about because we are at a crossroads in Africa. We are at a crossroads in the world. And I want to just big up the greatest online community on the planet, the Lion Voice, the Lion Pride. Big up everyone in the Lion Pride. Big up Ras Josh, who just joined us, our Lion Pride on Patreon. We are building and we are preparing for the inevitable food shortage, fuel shortage that are coming. And they're predicting a catastrophe for the African continent based on the Iran war, the lack of fertilizer, the lack of fuel. We have to big up Dangote of Nigeria, who has built a refinery and who is now supplying African countries with petrol, filling up some of the gap from the holes caused by the oil from the Middle East. So we have a lot happening on the continent that we're going to be talking about this Saturday. This Saturday, we're going to be hosting brethren from Malawi. 10 a.m. we have our series, African Liberation series, taking place. And I them know we've been going to different African countries. And this Saturday, we are going to Malawi to look at the history of Rastafari in Malawi. So we have Dr. Paliani. He's a brethren who wrote a book about the history of Rastafari in the history of Rastafari in Malawi. If you missed our episode on South Africa, you may want to check out that episode highlighting the history of Rastafari in South Africa that we did Saturday, and the week before we did a special on domestic violence, specifically happening in South Africa as well. We're doing Malawi. The week after that, we're going to have a major panel discussion. And after that, we are going to go to Sierra Leone. So we have a whole month of African programming. We're talking to brethren and sisters born and raised on the continent. And it's going to be something special. So the item, stay tuned for that. I don't know what's happening with Earthquake. We're hoping that he's going to join us shortly. He was having some technical difficulties. If we don't hear from the brethren, we're just going to move forward with the episode on the African Liberation. We're going to have the reasoning with the Lion Pride, and we'll have to reschedule the brethren. I don't know what's happening down there in Malvern, St. Elizabeth. My queen is trying to sort it out. But you know, we've been in this position before on this platform, and we work it out. So we remain confident in the victory of good over evil. But we, as I say, we still have a lot to reason about. I want to big up Akashic Records. If you saw the new commercial that we have, iRoots Records, our newest sponsor on the channel, just joined the family. So you can see slowly but surely we're building the economic infrastructure of the Lion Pride. One of the things that we want to do is focus on economics, because no community that doesn't have an economic base is going to survive what they have planned for I and I in this time, family. The item supposed to know where we're going, mark of the beast, all of them things that in play right now. The currency crash, all of them things that's still in play. So food sovereignty, which we've been talking about on this channel, is key. We're talking about the true key to liberation, and that is economics, because His Majesty said, yes, none but ourselves can free our mind. We know that. and we're proud of that, and we build our mental and spiritual acuity, our mental and spiritual dexterity. Use some big words sometimes. We train our mental and our spiritual, but where we have fallen short, particularly as brethren, is in the economic field, and this has been impacting our families and our ability to keep our families together and really build a stable community, having businesses that employ our children, and our children are not gravitating to the movement like one time because we don't have the economic strength. They're online, they're scrolling, they're looking at what's going on out there, and they don't see Rastafari from an economic standpoint. And we have to really be honest about that and take steps to remedy that, because we can't build a school without economics. We can't build a health center without having a budget and being able to pay staff. So these are the things that we are sure about, and we know we have a lot of work to do, but we will get it done. I see Earthquake send I a message. Hold on one moment here. We're working on it to get the brethren here. You know, we're not going to stop.
Come up and give the station, but when you meet the I said, go and create an account.
Okay.
And that's it I show my brother. He said that image come up. You go to that era.
Okay. Okay, let me see. He's having some Wi-Fi issues here. We're working on it. Sometimes, you know, when you do a live show, these things can happen. Actually, what I may do, I'm gonna just drop the StreamYard link in the chat, and I'm gonna invite the Lion Pride to come up. Let's have a reasoning. We're gonna be spontaneous tonight. Let's have a reasoning. I'll reschedule Earthquake. I'm gonna reschedule with Earthquake so we can start it out. Tonight I'm gonna invite the Lion Pride to come forward. Apologies. Sometime it happened, you know what I mean, when you're doing a live show with the Wissy warrior them up in the hills. And let me just tell you about this brethren, because as a young Ras, going up to the hills of Malvern, St. Elizabeth, it was a great experience for I. The first bingy I ever got that had no deadals on the harps, you know what I mean? All of the harps had fabric, a special covering for the drum. I was hoping that we would get a chance to reason about that. This is 2001 I'm telling you about. And that bingy was so mystical because it rained the whole time of the Isis, you know what I mean? Flood. Enough of the ones them couldn't even reach from Mobay and the other region. The place flooded out, but that was such a iritical Nyahbinghi session. Ones like Bongo Gabi as Asian, you know what I mean? We're there. I dropped the link if you're just joining us live. We're going to talk about African liberation tonight leading up to May 25th. I just dropped the StreamYard link. So Lion Pride, click the link. You can come in. You got to be on camera. We're going to have the reasoning tonight about African liberation. What does it mean in this time? And we want to focus on the economic aspect, because we know that if we don't have economics, if we can't employ ourselves, if we can't create our own economy, then when they cut off this mark of the beast economy, we're going to feel it. And for those who are not aware, the price of gas, a brethren just sent me a picture of the price of gas in Cali, over $5 a gallon. This means that it's working on the pockets of the working class people. Some people have to drive, go work. I was just talking to trucker brethren, they're feeling it, the cost of diesel. Everything in Babylon moved on trucks. Most of the things that we purchase every day move on trucks. What is our plan? These are the true conversations that we want to have here on the Lion Voice Network. No fantasy, no illusion, preparation for repatriation. The great gathering of African people is here. What we are doing? Are we surprised? Are we shocked? Are we frozen in fear? Are we business as usual? Or are we the people who rise to the occasion to claim our place, claim our destiny in this Gideon, Iowa? I often remind people that the most popular Rastafari song, One Love, which One Love was a song that was uttered by Marcus Garvey, one of his sign-off, One Love, and Bob Marley turned it into a song. A lot of people think that song is soft, but when you listen to the lyrics of the song One Love, which a lot of people take as a non-threatening song, what is Bob Marley saying in that song? Let's get together and fight this holy Armageddon. So what is he saying? We have to come together to fight this Armageddon. This is not going to be an individual judgment. You know what I mean? We have to come together. So tonight, family, we want to have the reasoning. The link is in the comment section. We have the greatest comment section on the planet Earth. So I don't want the comment section fail. I know some of our Lion Pride, the item can click the link and come in. I don't know if Bongo Wisely is here. I don't know Johnny Johnson is here. Click the link, make we reason, make we have the reasoning on African liberation. We're going to go into the history, you know what I mean, and talk about African liberation from a practical thing. Somebody say logical logistics. I would love that, you know what I mean? Serious thing, you know what I mean? This is not a joke time. A lot of us are family people. We have children. So the decisions that we make, we take it very serious. Right now I have on my Howard shirt, my daughter. I haven't announced it here yet, but tomorrow is my daughter's graduation. So I feel very proud right now. And she'll be attending Howard University, just like her father. And we are so proud of her. But at the same time, we need to know that this time is a dreadful time for the youth. Them Ras Super, big up yourself. All of the Lion Pride coming in. I love to see our comment section and the growth. I've dropped the StreamYard link in the comments. I'm asking the Lion Pride to come in. We're having some technical difficulties with earthquake. We're still trying to work it out, but in the meantime, I'm asking the Lion Pride. The item know that I say that the item are the greatest comment section on the planet. So when the guest is not, we're not able, we're having technical difficulties. I know anyone in my comment section or any few in the comment section can just jump in and fill in. That's how confident I am in the comment section, the greatest comment section on the planet Earth. So the StreamYard link is in the comment section. Click the link. You have to come on camera. No loosey-goosey on the platform. And we're gonna talk about this time that we're living in. Right now, the President of the United States is in China, and they are stating that when he comes forward, the war with Iran is gonna start. We said it here on this channel a long time ago that this is going to be a long war. It's not going to be a short war. It's going to have starts and stops, but this war is going to go all the way because they cannot reverse. You know what I mean? They cannot afford to reverse because the ultimate aims and objectives that the ones who are pushing this war have, namely the rebuilding of the third temple Solomon, and also the return of the Messiah. These are the things that are not talked about widely, but because they have this is more than a physical war. This is a spiritual war that's happening on earth right now, and they are going to destroy the whole global economy. That is on the way. We have not yet felt the effects of the closing of the Straits of Hormuz. It's coming down the pipeline. We are in preparation mode here. I and I family, we're buying shelf-stable food, about to get a generator, you know what I mean? Certain little emergency supplies that every family should have. Let me know in the comments if the item are ready for the collapse of the economic system that's on the way. Do you think I'm overreacting? Am I a doomsday Ras? The sky is falling. How do I then feel about what I'm saying? Is it real, or is it overreaction? Let I know. I'm still waiting for one of our Lion Pride to come forward and join I. Make we have the reasoning. Armored Gideon, African Liberation. What does it look like? We see in the AES an invasion of 12,000 jihadists trying to take down Mali, trying to destroy the AES revolution that's taking place. We see in Ghana that they are also not pleased with the policies that Ghana is trying to put more strict regulations around gold production and these things. So we want to have the reasoning right now. What does African liberation look like in 2026? The Africa Free Trade Zone is underway, but there are so many restrictions. If you want to travel through Africa right now, so many visas you have to get. Dangote, we talked about him in Nigeria, building a refinery to refine oil so that Nigeria doesn't have to import so much petrol. And he just did a deal with Ethiopian Airline. This is Pan-Africanism. Not even Pan-Africanism, this is the Pan-African ideal, because you know we don't deal with ism and schism. But this is the Pan-African ideal that we are seeing being manifested on a massive scale. And this is what African liberation looks like in 2026. So it's not just AES. We also have our billionaire Dangote, other wealthy Africans who are working quietly on the sideline to make a difference, you know what I mean, to have value-added products in Africa. And Dangote said he is assembling other African billionaires and stakeholders, and they are trying to fill some of the gaps. He's going to be supplying fertilizer. He's getting into fertilizer, agricultural inputs. All of these things are happening on the continent right now, and it's a massive strength. Now, in the midst of that, in Ethiopia is implementing a grand plan, and we are being affected as Rastafari, Shashamani, the Nyahbinghi tabernacle. The wall was knocked down, piece of the tabernacle. They're widening the streets, adding in, doing their various city plans, and anything that's in the way, whether church, whether mosque, anything is being destroyed. So far, there has been no compensation. I know Local 14 EWF on the ground has been working on a solution. So right now, there's so much happening in creation. It's very unstable just in terms of what's taking place in creation. So we are here as Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media to try to make sure that we are bringing the information to the item live and direct. We're going to have someone from Ethiopia on the platform shortly so we can get more clarity. It is a sensitive situation. People can be arrested, all kind of things. This is life. This is not Rastafari, your weekend hobby. This is, you choose the life now, as Bob said, we will find out who are the real revolutionaries, you know, and who are play house, who are play make believe. At the same time as that, um, as that, okay, I see Pam J every day saying soon forward. All right, give thanks. At the same time, in Jamaica, we see some distraction are going with Yaksta going against Chronics and Protege and these ones. I'm gonna do an episode dealing with the Rastafari man standard where we address some of these things, you know. If you haven't seen our episode with Medicine, check out that episode because he talks about when you first come into Rastafari, that awakening. Oftentimes, what happens is your first emotion is rage because when you wake up, your eyes are open to the lies that Babylon told you. You get rageful, and we see Yaksta going through that fiery stage. I went through that stage as a young Ras, you know, very fiery. We burn out everything. You know what I mean? There was a time you couldn't get iron if it be on no camera. You know what I mean? We used to burn camera, burn out everything. Even though we were growing up in a modern environment, you know what I mean? We had that mentality. We do the works and we just do the works. And over time, as we mature now, we realize the importance of documentation so that people can see what you're doing, so you can get strength, so you can record the progress over time. These things are things we had to learn. But I want everyone to go forward and look at the interview we did with Yaksta. At that time, he wasn't claiming Rastafari. Now he's claiming Rastafari, and he's burning out the brethren from the Reggae Revival, say that they're not giving access certain things. I want to address all of that, so we're going to do an episode on the Rastafari man standard coming up, so look out for that. And my sound too, the brethren, is a distraction. We should not be fighting each other right now in this hour of the Armageddon, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go deep into that situation with the brethren, and anyone who know the brethren, feel free to share this with him. Feel free to share this with Chronics, all of them, you know, because we need all hands on deck right now. Because the thing is, I don't know if the item realize how dreadful this thing is about to get. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people just think the Ras is on here talking. If your wallet has not told you how dreadful things are out there, your wallet going to talk to you. You know, wait a couple more weeks. Your wallet going to talk to you and tell you how dreadful and terrible things are going to get. So we can't afford the petty divide and rule right now. African liberation means that I and I must come together as one. If you're just joining us, we are talking African liberation today. Serious reasoning. I dropped the StreamYard link in the comment section if you want to come up and make us have the reasoning. Pam J Everyday is going to be joining us shortly, one of our Lion Pride on Patreon. If you haven't seen his episode, this brethren survived civil war in Liberia. He kicked off the African Liberation Month programming. He's going to join us. We're having some technical difficulties with our brethren earthquake up in the mountains of St. Elizabeth. So we're going to have to, I'm going to have to probably deal with him on Zoom, and we'll do it as a Lion Talk. So we'll still feature earthquake on the platform, but we're gonna have to just try to do it a different way. Sometimes it's like that. So if you came to see the great earthquake, don't worry yourself, it'll come. We're gonna make sure that it happens. Tonight, we're gonna talk about African liberation. What does it look like? Practical realities of the liberation struggle. We're inviting the greatest comment section on the planet Earth to come on the stage and join us to have this reasoning. Typically, we only do this when we hit a milestone like 60,000, 70,000, and we're coming up on our 70,000 subscriber episode, so we'll do it again for the 70,000 subscriber episode. But tonight, we just roll with the punches because we are Gideon soldiers, battlefield trained. The guest is we're having the technical difficulties, so we're inviting the item to come on. You have to turn on your camera, but we're gonna have the reasoning tonight. African liberation. What does that look like in 2026? Most families are hand to mouth. I know because we lose people in our Lion Pride on Patreon every month. You know what I mean? We gain people, we lose people. And when people leave, they always, or for the most part, you know what I mean? I know it's true economic hardship. So even our monthly subscribers, the ones who are still with us, you know what I mean? I really appreciate love, the support, because I know it's hard, you know what I mean? If you're interested in rallying and you see the caliber of people that we have in our Patreon, we've had several of them as guests on the platform, so you can see the caliber of people. If you're willing, you want to build your tribe, you want to be around like minds, join. And I recommend that the ones them join, even try at $5 a month, you know what I mean, $1.25 or strong. You must can do something with that. Let the hungry be fed, the sick nourished, the aged protected. Yes, Empress, big up yourself, coming out to Jamaica. I want them, Jakwasi. All right, so ones them Sisse, the things that we're talking, and the Lion Pride know I'm on track record. When Trump was elected and I replayed the episode, I made some predictions, and one of them was that there would be a war with Iran. If you don't believe it, that's why I love recording things now, because the item can go forward and see. We did our whole episode talking about the Straits of Hormuz, all of those things, long before they were in the headlines. So I pride ourselves here on the Lion Voice Network that we're on the cutting edge. So when I tell the global family that food and fuel shortages are on the way, you don't have to believe I. You know what I mean? You don't have to believe I. But just know that right now, 20% of the oil in the earth is not moving on the high seas. You know what I mean? Not moving on the high seas. 40% of the urea for the chemical fertilizers that have been used to farming season. 70% of US farmers are saying that they cannot farm this year because they can't afford the price of fertilizer. These are real numbers that are coming down. So we're not in the catastrophe yet, but by summer, by fall, it's gonna be Gideon here. And this is why I tell the family, community, you know what I mean? This is not the time to be a lone lion or lioness. This is the time to be a community. And we're going to be talking about it. Big up Empress Danielle sent me a message in our Patreon for our town hall meeting for the Lion Pride on Patreon this month. We're going to be talking about emergency preparedness, what we need to do so we can prepare. And that's what we're talking about as in a circle. We're preparing ourselves. So even if the world think we're crazy, the rest them just talk off them face, that's fine. We're fine with being the crazy people in the eyes of the world. But we know that this is a prophetic time. The earth is at a crossroad, and we have to do something about it. My queen has been buying shelf-stable goods. Right now my kitchen counter full of peas, you know what I mean? Red peas, pigeon pea, all kind of peas we have right now, storing up and putting them in containers, putting them down. And the key with storage is that you rotate out the things them, you know what I mean? So you don't just have things sit down forever. You rotate out, you have a certain amount, and then you rotate the older things them and you use them, and then you replenish. So you have that stockpile, but you're not just having it sit there. You're actively utilizing and replenishing. So we're in that stage, and we're going to be talking about it at our town hall meeting. I'm going to drop the thing. So if you want to become a part of our community, join the Lion Pride on Patreon. You can join for as low as $5 a month, and we $5 a month is $1.25 every strong. So I'm inviting the island to come a part of this community. We're strategizing how we can work together. I have a brethren, Ja Shiloh, who just joined. Big up yourself. He's also a trucker. So I think we have about 4 truckers. So we're going to be doing an episode on supply chain logistics, because I don't know if people understand how goods and services reach. How a lot of us just go to the grocery store and we don't think twice. You know what I mean? The grocery store always full. The health food store always full. We can go and get the knickknacks, but we're not thinking about how are the food reaching on the shelf. And what we have to understand, and this is why if you look at prophecy, look at Matthew 24, you know, he who in the city, flee from the city, you know what I mean? Flee to the mountain, it said, in that time. Because when the economy crashed, the worst place you can be is in a city. Because when those trucks don't come in, you're locked, and then there's no access to places to grow food. So the people in the rural areas are actually in a much better situation. So if you're not in a rural place, you need to have links with farmers. Are you going to your local farmers market? Make the people them know who you are, get some business cards, make sure that you're interacting, so that if the trucks don't come, you can call them and say, listen, I look 2 tomato, I look 2 cucumber, where we can find it. Maybe he don't have it, but he know where to get it, you know what I mean? Because I know other farmers. So it's who is in your network. Your network now is the most important resource that you're going to have to survive what is coming on the earth. The elites don't care. The Epstein family, them, the Epstein class, them, they don't care about the poor and the innocent. You know what I mean? His Majesty said war must cease as a means of conflict resolution, and these ones are using war as a strategy, not caring how many innocent people die in the wake. And this is why the time that we're living in is so dangerous and so dreadful. But the other part of it is that as Babylon falls, I and I will rise. This is also the prophetic time. So how we position ourselves now is going to dictate how we rise during the fall. And this is why, you know, we're stressing food sovereignty, because if we are growing food, we have our own ITAL standard, we have our own ecosystem running. Guess where the people are going to come for that shelter and that security? They're going to come to I and I as Rastafari, because we have a credibility. We have been saying, you know what I mean? We have been saying this is going to happen. And a lot of members, we take for granted that what we say now is mainstream, but a lot of what we said was fringe talk. Now I can turn on any news and everything I just said, you can find independent media saying the same things. You know what I mean? This was way out fringe talk at one time, but now the people are awakening, and we have to be leading. Ras mean head. You know what I mean? So we's not the tail. We need to be firm in what we're doing. If you're just joining us, we're talking about African liberation today. Saturday, 10 a.m., we go to Malawi to reason with Dr. Paliani and his book about the history of Rastafari in Malawi. So if you're interested in Rastafari in Southern Africa, tune in Saturday. Tonight, though, we won't have a reason, and I just dropped the link in the comment section. I'm waiting on our brethren Palm J every day is going to join, but we're opening the platform tonight to talk about African liberation. So if you want to come on, you have to turn on your camera to come on the screen. We're going to reason on African liberation. What is the practical? I wish a man like Stank and Dank was here. You know what I mean? And some of the man them who drop all of these comments, we would have loved to see them and hear them sound on African liberation and the practical aspects of the chad. You know what I mean? So feel free to click the link. No loosey-goosey. Best behavior, no cursing. We want to have an intelligent reasoning here. You know what I mean? Selassie sound in the place of that Ras Peter. Ras Peter, come click the link now. Make a reason. Come in. Sister Emmanuel, my Lion Pride family. Lion Pride and Patreon family. Make we rally in, man. Rally in. Make we have the reasoning. We were supposed to have earthquake tonight. We had some technical difficulties, but the Lion Pride Network is not one-man show. Lion Pride Network is a community. So if you're here for the first time, welcome. This is where Rastafari is gathering on the World Wide Web. And we are building a movement here. You know what I mean? Selassie Sound, come click the link. Now drop, click this StreamYard link in the, click the StreamYard link in, just send that StreamYard link, click that link. It'll take you into the back studio or the forward studio. And think Selassie Sound, Ras Peter is a biochemist, so we can reason. Yeah, man, make we all a joy. Hold on, earthquake, you figure it out. Hold on, I think Ras earthquake. A forward. Let me see what's going on here.
What state you in?
Earthquake.
Massachusetts. Some Virgin contract me at the tabernacle within Christian Father.
Heal.
Heal the power, Rastafari, earthquake in the mountain. At the tabernacle, you know?
Yes. All the vibes. Okay, Wi-Fi the guys still. Yeah, man, we're gonna make this an island for, you know, we're gonna make the best.
Come on, maybe let's wake up.
Congo.
Yeah.
Congo.
Yeah.
I can hear, right?
Yeah. Hear the power of the Trinity.
I listen last year the first.
Yes, I hear the man. Lord.
Give thanks. Yeah, man, we there talk about African liberation. Please introduce the thyself, King. Yes, I introduce the thyself, King.
Hear the power of the Trinity. I listen last year. I'm just earthquake, you know. In the mountain of Malvern, Roseberry District, St. Elizabeth, you know.
Yes, I. I can hear. We have a little chippy. Reception. I can hear. All right. We're working on it, family. We're working on it. You see the big spliff. Authentic. This is up in the hills. Yes, earthquake.
Give thanks to the power of the Trinity.
Yes, I.
Yes, first, kings of kings.
Sister Emmanuel, put on your camera, please. We're gonna just hold a joy tonight, family. Wi-Fi the guy can't stop this. Sister Emmanuel. Earthquake. All right. Greetings, Sister Emmanuel. Raspita, put on your camera, King. Sister Emmanuel, say greetings. Can you talk?
Greetings, family Rastafari. Bless up.
Make we show them that we're a community. Make we show them that we're a community. Introduce yourself, Sister Emmanuel. Introduce yourself.
Racine. I'm a Haitian Rastafari. So it's Racine. So coming out here from Northern California, we're about to head out to Haitian dance class. So I wanted to big up the community and say Rastafari. I love the eye. I love everything that you do. I love everything that the sister do, the family, the community. Bless up. I just want to say, just catch the eye before I head out to Haitian dance class. Rastafari, Racine. All in the scene. Can you hear I?
Yes, I.
Okay. So big ups. Just love.
Before you leave us, what do we need to do for this African liberation? Talk to us. What's the formula?
I always believe or know that it's education, and that's what I love about the Lions Voice Network. You always introduce us to the best educators. I think it is time for us to have our own online schools from K to college and beyond, skills development, so that we can be building together. A lot of ones and ones have their own. I believe break off from the Babylonian system. Once we get out of her, you know what I'm saying? Get out of her, my people. So we need to have our own schools, our own skills development things. You know what I mean? From here to home being Africa, but here in the States, in the Caribbean, that's what I feel we need to do. Have those networks of education. Education is the key. His Majesty showed that. That's why he was the head of education, the Minister of Education in Ethiopia.
Yes, I.
So that's what it is. From K, even before kindergarten, in the womb. You know what I mean? The minute the mama and the daddies are having babies, then we're already registering them for Rastafari schools. You overs?
Yes, I.
That's what I believe.
That's why. Boy, today is one of them days, family. The Wi-Fi not cooperating with I and I, but we're making it work. But I just want to show the ones them, if you're new here, that this is a community. So you see, we're working on Earthquake. You saw him, so say if I announce a guest, that guest is scheduled. We don't sell pussy in a bag around here. You know what I mean? But we're dealing with some serious Wi-Fi connection issue. Raspita, can I turn on your mic? Dr. Peter, can you turn on your mic? Turn on your camera. Turn on your camera. We have Dr. Peter Bryan, the selector for Selassie I Sound, good brethren from them time there from Howard University days. All right. Raspita.
Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, my lord.
Haile Selassie the first. How's everything?
Nyahbinghi?
Yes, long time we not see the eye.
A long time, man. A long time. I give young fellas, man. It's a joy,
Yes,
Yes, real life, man. It's a joy.
Give thanks. Give everything for your reason.
From my ears, the earthquake, the dead man, one block a sound to him. Cause remember, say one time we did play a whole heap of Nyahbinghi dance and color dance and everything there for try to help rise up the tabernacle out of St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
with the Youth Rastafari Council here in DC.
Yes, yes,
Payon
yes.
and Natan and ones, yeah.
Yeah, man. From I know Earthquake, he's been rallying around that tabernacle in Malvern, St. Elizabeth, over 20 years. The
20
brethren been on
years.
that works, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
definitely someone I'm very honored to be able to bring him to the family. And I
Yeah,
haven't had
from
a
I see
chance
that
to.
fireball, true. We all have things going on in life. And from I see earthquake, that fireball, I say, yo, me not care what I'm right now. I have to jump on. I have to jump on this one, yeah, you know.
But
Give my one
remember,
year.
remember that I
And
have to get your
likewise.
I have to get your interview too. You know, fire. You know, we're gonna
I
be
say I
doing.
already been
We're
game,
gonna be
man.
featuring the eye. I supposed to be working on a mixtape with Selassie I sound too. You know, we have to get on that work there too. You know, because
My lad.
this is
My
one of the
lad.
great selector, the man dub box
My lad.
heavy,
My
man
lad. My
dub box
lad. My lad.
culture music. You know what I mean?
Give
Um,
thanks, I give
but
thanks.
but tonight though, we want to talk about African liberation. What is how do I see African liberation right now in practical terms? You know, what I and I have to do to achieve that true liberation from the islands.
What we see right now with the African Liberation Fireball, I love what I see going on with certain countries within Africa, rallying together and changing how colonization has impacted our people abroad throughout the diaspora for such time, um, that coming together and by any means like changing how we are self-reliant. All the things of Haile Selassie I teach I self-reliant, self-resistant, can produce our own things. I don't think I promote. But I think it's gonna take a lot more of us coming together because it's at the same time there is a certain force coming together. There's also division, and the division is through colonialism. And my hope and pray still, you know, through the message that Rastafari is spreading about, that ones and ones, even if I'm not through the lens and I see it through that we can come together and build up Africa. Cause all right, that's right there, all of the resources, everything. We're rich, man, already. Everything what Alice last year gave us, we already have it. So, see, so all of the people, so it's just for I and I, for right now, to come together and realize, we have to be resilient and we have to pull together and work together and build yourself up. But yeah, I see a bright future. I'm very positive in the way I'm looking at it, because I see it coming. It's a forward.
Yeah, man, I agree. Um, we hold on. I'm gonna bring forward Raspam J. We
Yes,
also have
I.
the Johnny Johnson in the place.
Aye.
Um,
That's what
uh, has the eye been able to watch any of the Lion Voice episodes, Ross Peter? Has the eye seen any of the episodes?
I have seen a couple of them. This is the first live I've
Yes.
seen, but yes, I have seen a couple of them before. Yes, I.
Give thanks, give thanks. So I just want to introduce you to some of our family. We have Ras Pamji. I don't know if you know Ras Pamji used to be here with
Yes,
us.
I. I is my lad. Heart of love,
I.
man. Say we
Yes,
never
I.
short of love, brother.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Anytime.
Blessed I.
So
Blessed
last
yeah.
I.
year.
Rastafari.
And our elder Johnny Johnson. Sister Emmanuel, if you can turn on your mic, I'll bring you forward too. We're gonna have a community reasoning tonight about African liberation. You know what I mean? We want to, earthquake. You know what I mean? His Wi-Fi is not working so well. We're gonna see if you come forward. But
Mine wasn't that first also in a bingy.
What you say?
Right now, I'm just glad to say everything. There's something man, very enough, very enough. Sound like here. We give.
Where is the eye right now, Ross Peter?
Andrew.
Okay, you're local. All right, so we're gonna get to everyone. Russ, Palm JD, I can introduce the myself.
Yes, I. Am I coming true?
Yes, I.
Yeah, man. Give thanks. So I'm gonna just start it like this because I know I'm a creative, right? So I'm on love singing, love doing art. So I'm gonna go like this. To divide and rule is the whole plan, the whole plan. I ain't no fool. We have to overcome, cause I and I are king in the jungle. We have to overcome. We have to come together. Big up to the brethren, IQ. I know the man is right now doing time, but you got to keep his head strong and know one day his time will come to give another chance in life. You know, and also I want to give thanks to Sizzla Kalanda for that sound, for that tune,
Yeah.
because that tune was a tune that I listened to. This is what, over 20 years ago. That thing is old, but it still resonates to this day. See? It still resonates because that's always been colonialism plan. That has always been the plan, to divide and rule. And they've been doing it. And I have to give them an A plus 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 plus, you know,
Yes.
as one of the professor in the adversity of the University of Adversity, right? We know they doing their job. They A plus plus. But we have to be doing our job.
Yes.
I and I have to do our job. What's our job? What's I and I job? To make sure they don't win. Because again, at the end of the day, this whole thing, if you the item see in the background, it's a football, right? American football. Over in Africa, where I'm from, Liberia, we call it football, right? But football, soccer. But sports in general, life is a game. I want the item to know that. A lot of ones don't want to accept that reality. But if you living in the Western world, sports run the thing. See? Sports run it at the highest level. Why? Because there's a lot of betting, and those boys are bringing in billions of dollars. So we have to make sure that we are getting the youth get their mind right, because they're the ones who are going to help change the reality down the road. So if we don't teach the youth everything they must know to fight against colonialism, to fight against Jim Crow, or the new Jim Crow, because that's what we're dealing with right now, right? If we don't teach them, guess what? Them youth are going to get in this sport right here, you see back here, or football, we call it soccer, right? Or baseball, basketball, whatever. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to go and be great, and they're going to take that colonial mindset. They're going to take that Jim Crow mindset, and they're going to take that money and give it to who? They're going to give it to the item already know who.
Yes,
And once they get that money, they take that money, and guess what they do? They fund it into those laws and everything, and we are left out. So it starts with the youth. We have to come together for the youth, because the youth need to see I and I together, stronger than ever.
We can't
This is the time.
we can't make petty differences separate.
Nah, man, never, never.
Stick a pin. Elder Johnny Johnson, can you you're sipping up your food. Let me give you some time, our elder, our esteemed elder Johnny Johnson. You want to introduce yourself, our elder? You can't hear anything. Okay. You're not hearing. Okay. We work on it. Sister Emmanuel.
Big up. I'm not here. Big up. Yeah, you know what? This is a piece that my I Kingman made.
Okay, big him up. Yes,
yeah,
big him up. Big him up.
Recyclable art. It's cardboard and acrylic. You feel me? So,
yes,
I just big up to see. It's so great to see the elder Johnny Johnson. Big up the Southwest Rastafari. Woo, woo, woo. Mexico, all the
Johnny
way
Johnson
live.
is sipping up. Johnny Johnson is having a nice food right there.
I love it. And that's how I became a Rastafari, to Southwestern, the New Mexican Rastafaris. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
That's how I became.
And I want, if you're watching live, I want the item to just realize how great it is when your guest is having technical difficulties and you can just pull guests from your audience. Pure stars in the comment section. I want the item knows pure superstars in the comment section. If you want to join us tonight, we're having a conversation, a true conversation about African liberation. What does it mean? What is the reality of African liberation? Ras Pamjay, I think very well equipped to talk about this topic. If you haven't seen the episode with Ras Pamjay talking about watching his uncle be murdered at the age of 8 in Liberia, you know what I mean?
Yes,
during the war, soldiers coming to his house, you know what I mean, and witnessing murder and many other things. Go and watch that episode. Go and subscribe to the Brethren channel, Pamjay, every day. Also, Super Citizen. The Brethren is a content creator as well. Support the Brethren. But coming from a born African on the continent, African born on the continent, and as soon as I said that, a piece of yonder, just here in DC, me I tell you,
I heard that too, all the way over here in the Midwest.
a piece of yonder just licked. So we know that we're busting some seals tonight, just by being organic and natural. You know what I mean? But talk to us, Pamjay.
Yes, I.
Born on the continent, born in war. You have seen the destabilization that the West brings firsthand. You're a product of it. What do we need right now for African liberation?
Yes, I. The one and most important tenet that we all have to have this, which I think this platform, this community does a great job in projecting it, which is love. Love. That's the main thing. And I mean love for your brethren and your sister. Don't get eye twisted now. See? I'm not the one love your enemy and all that. I'm not one of those guys. See? But love your brethren and sister that you're gonna come together with. Strong. Form alliances. You have to do it. We have to do it. That's the number one thing. Love each other. Come together. Find out what can we do? Like the ad was saying, you go to the grocery store, the market, whatever you call it, you can't get no quality food. I love eating quality food. You can't get it. You have to grow it yourself, or you have to find a farmer market you can trust, because they're doing something with even the vegetables. Let me tell you, they're doing something even to the vegetables, because when I taste the vegetables, it tastes like some, oh man, I love kale. I eat kale raw, and I can't eat these kale raw anymore from the store. It's terrible, terrible. So we have to come together and find ways that we can use our resources to help each other, because I see the writing on the wall. I'm not one to be trying to make people afraid or have them running scared. Like the I said, I've been through it already. I've seen it already. It's on the walls. It's written, like they say, it's written on the wall. It's only so much time it's going to get worse, because like one of the brethren said earlier, the people right now who are in power and the people who are supposed to be keeping those guys in balance their power, check their power, they're not doing it. They refuse to do it. Why? Because in some way, shape, or form, they still are part of that same situation. They're part of that same oppressive system. So they want to keep it going. We can't focus on them. We focus on the people. We see Ras Kwasi, the Ras, Brethren, Peter. Brethren, did you see, sister, did you see, you'll come together, start talking, figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to get food, how we're going to get gas, start planning now. I'm serious. Start figuring it out, because it's something that's coming. We don't know, because the thing we didn't do in Liberia that a lot of people didn't, when they say rumors of wars, When they start saying that word, rumors of wars, because they did it in Liberia. They said, "Hey, something is coming." Many ones, unfortunately, don't have the means. So that's the sad thing about war. You don't have the means. You don't know where to go. You don't know how to go. But you have to find someone. You have to go find a neighbor. Find a friend. Find a way. Find a way because you're gonna need it. And if you don't listen to that rumor of war, you might get caught. You don't want to get caught in that fire. And if you get caught, you want to make sure you have people around you who are just as strong as you, who's willing to fight fight with you, because we got to be ready. The Rasquasi know I don't play around. Every morning, 500 push-ups, and I go to the gym. Your structure, your physical,
Hot.
your physical, it got to be ready.
Tell them one more time how much push-ups. Tell them one more time.
500. And I break it up. I do like 5 sets of 25. One set. Break it down with another form of variation. Do another 5 sets of 25.
Yeah.
You see, you break it down to little chunks. Because if you take little bits and pieces, it's gonna get to where you want it to go. But you got to get this physical strong. You have to get the physical strong, because when it's come to your doorstep, when they're looking at your face and they're ready to throw blows, if you can't physically stand, you lost the battle already.
Yes, I serious. I hear Johnny Johnson coming through. Hold on a second. Let's see if it's Johnny Johnson.
It's
Can you hear Elder? Can you hear?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, I hear the eye. Can the eye hear I?
I can hear you, yes.
Yes, I can
yes,
hear
sir.
the eye. We need some elder wisdom. We need some elder wisdom, Johnny Johnson. You're in the comments. Some people don't know the great wisdom that you have. Tell us about what do we need to be doing for African liberation right now? Yeah, I can hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. What do we need to be
doing?
Can
you hear me?
Yes, I hear the eye. I hear the eye.
Can you hear me, Ras?
I hear the eye clearly. Can the eye hear
Yes,
I?
well. Yeah. Let me turn off my TV. Let me turn off the TV.
Yes, please. And for those who don't know, Johnny Johnson
is that better?
Yeah, he's a retired physician.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear the eye clear. We hear the eye clear. He's a retired physician.
You know what happened is I have my iPhone on, and I have the television on because it's muted.
Oh. Can the eye hear I?
But let me just say it's a young man's game. I only can hear you in the background from my television, but not on my iPhone.
Okay. Okay.
So just let me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me just say this. Say that. Thank you for your total disposition of educating the masses about African Liberation Month. It's very important work that you are doing, because it's a young man's game, it's a young woman's game now. I'm in my 70s and I'm not well, but I'm getting better. And I can tell you that when I watch your program and the guests that you bring forth, I feel very encouraged that the people who taught me about African Liberation Month, a lot of them are ancestors. They left the meat body and they're in the light body. But they did not die in vain, because young youth like yourself have come forth and picked up the mantle and doing a very good job. Very good job. Because the ancestors left a mandate, and that mandate was Pan-Africanism or perish.
Aye.
And you and your guests are a living testament that they did not die in vain. They did not die in vain. And you know, I just wanted to say that the African liberation struggle is ongoing, and the unborn would pick up the mantle and carry on the struggle. But our enemies are shaking in their their feet, because they realize that one African dollar, one African aim, one African destiny, and one African God is what we will do as a people. Sometimes don't get discouraged because you might not have the technology to reach uh, the brethren and sistren on the last surviving peak of Atlantis in Jamaica, on the hilltops throughout the globe, where Rastafari is living in the canopies, in the jungles, in the forests, where our African women and men and children have come forth from. We are now living in the cities and nations and states, the municipalities and principalities, but Africa's future is very great and is very bright, like the morning star. King Selassie I gave us an edict to follow. He gave us a transcript, a mandate that says one aim, one God, one destiny, one economic order. We have a continent, 54 states in Africa, and the 6th region of the African diaspora, the African Union, from Vanuatu to Alabama, Kingston, Jamaica, to Monrovia, Liberia, to Addis Ababa, which is the real Wakanda. And all your guests who come on, they're great people, they're quality people. We as a Black African people must barter. Sometimes we don't have the cash. Sometimes we don't have the money to see our dreams come to a reality. But we don't always have to have cash, but we can barter with what we have. If you have a few posters, a few books, a few wood carvings laying around, try to ship them to one another and trade. We're great people, and nothing could stop us from unifying Mother Africa. And that's all I really wanted to say. And God bless you. And let me try to see what I have around here that I could contribute to help you monetarily or physically. If I have a few t-shirts around here I'm not using, if I have a few extra dollars, we have to be philanthropic endowments like the white people, the Jews and the other Gentiles. We have to do what we call generational wealth.
Yes.
You know, if I have a car sitting around here I'm not using, donate it to somebody. Respect to you, Brother Kwasi, and the guests.
Give thanks, give thanks. We give thanks for the Elder. We always feel honored to have you in the comment section.
Jaja.
Yes, always feel honored to have you in the comment section commenting. So if you're new to the platform and you want to know what our Elder Johnny Johnson look like, you can see him in the physical form, mighty and strong. Outferno fire. I see the eye in the comments. I know who the eye is, Stank and Dank. The eye if you come upon the platform, make we see the eye and make we reason. Make we have the reasoning. I will love the eye energy. I just dropped the stream, y'all. We want to see the eye.
Respect in every aspect.
Yes, come into the fire. Come see it up in the fire, Outferno fire. And make we all a reasoning about this African liberation. Have you been keeping up, Palm J, with what's happening in the AES? with Burkina Faso and Niger and Mali?
No, I have to bring I up to speed on that. I haven't been following.
Okay, so there's a major invasion taking place right now, where you have Muslim extremists. I'm putting that in quotes because they're really Africans who have been paid to destabilize Mali, in particular, which is one of the epicenters of the AES. You know what I mean? So the same thing that was taking place, it's the same playbook that happened in Liberia.
Okay,
These
okay,
people are
okay.
being armed. These people are being armed. A lot of time they don't even know who's arming them. These are young people who are on motorcycles and, shoulder fired rockets. They have, drones, they're being trained and sent against their brothers to destabilize. But the AES is fighting back with the help of Russia, and they have pushed them back now. And it looks like that they're going to break the back of this insurgency. But it just goes to show, because this is these people are also being trained by Ukrainians, you know what I mean? So it really is
a rock in a hard place.
Yeah, the major powers them doing some funny business. So it's rough. It's rough. Outfire, Outferno Fire. I'm waiting on the eye. Come on the platform, like we hear from the eye. Cause we would have loved have that reasoning. But
yes.
Go ahead, Pamja. You wanted to say something?
Yes, I mentioned something that was powerful in terms of the youth being used as cannon fodder, because that's what they're being used as. But the reason a lot of the youth in my country, for example, I'm gonna go to my country and I'll come forward to what's happening currently over there in Burkina Faso. But when the war in Liberia happened, it was due to, which is the same structural issue still going on, literacy rate. Literacy rate, people, illiteracy rate is so high. Jobs, lack of jobs, no employment, so high. Youth don't have no hope, no dreams, no aspirations, so high. Nothing. Depressed, gone. So if you find a soul as a young person who don't have no way out or can't see a way out, and then you have someone like a predator who's gonna look and exploit the vulnerable, right? And that's what's happening. So the vulnerable guy exploited. A lot of the vulnerable youth that got exploited was actually coming from where I come from in West Point. Let me say this. It was so bad where all of Liberia, all of the surrounding areas were hit. I mean, the infrastructure, everything damaged. But when it came to West Point, which is right there in Monrovia, you can still go back and lay down, not worry about nothing. There's nothing touched. That's why. But there was a lot of youth that didn't have the means. So I wrote something down for the eye, and I wanted to help bring it forward for the guest. I have a good compiled 10 realistic points for today's world as far as liberation. What people all over the globe of Africa, of the whole world. I wanna, if they give me a chance I wanna give that to them. I wanna really give that to them, because one of them is economic independence. And that's one of the biggest things in the continent that we got to get back to owning our minerals, to owning our agriculture, our technology, our banking system, our energy. And Africa does not, if Africa does not control its own resources, currencies, manufacturing, food systems, and trade routes, political freedom alone, if Africa can do that, it's going to be a very big hill to climb. We have to do that. That's one thing we have to start working on. The African ports have raw materials, raw imports. But what's happening? The rest of the worlds, the rest of the different parts of the world are taking advantage because people are willing to sell out. I give thanks to the brethren Ibrahim Traore because he actually embodies, I'm not even gonna lie to that, what I always wanted to be. I'm gonna give the eyes straight up.
Okay.
Because don't forget, I'm from Africa. So when I came here, I already knew what the game was. Believe it or not, I was only 9, but yes, I couldn't read, I couldn't write because I was in the streets all the time. But I knew life. I knew everything about life. And I knew that Africa have to be liberated. And it has to be liberated from the soil, someone from the soil who actually care for the soil, who care for the people, who want to see things change for the better and not exploit the people. So if we have more people like him, I think the continent will be great. The only sad thing about that is the people who are giving them the assistance, right? They're problematic, right? Why are they problematic? Because we know they still fall under the same colonial system of exploitation, right? So they're going to take advantage of the fact that Abraham don't have all the things that he may need. So, oh, you need this, you need that, and they're going to use it for what? For down the road, if they need them, just like you said, most of the youth, they go into Ukraine and fight. Do you think those Ukrainian people really give a hoots about I? Those people don't care about I. They just want to exploit, just like America is doing here to us with the labor of playing sports, entertainment, and everything else. It's exploitation. But we have to be smart enough to take that money, that resource, and funnel it back into our community. Group economics. Dr. Claude Anderson have talked about that. We got to be more collective when it comes to our resources. Even if we don't like our brethren, we have to go find out how we can come together with the brethren because we all don't have to like each other. No. Again, I'm going back to sports. I give that a thing I learned when I was playing sports. When you're on a team, there's going to be people from so many different backgrounds. People, and I'm sure some of y'all didn't play soccer or football, what have you. But those who really know sports, they can relate to I. You play sports, you're gonna have so many people from so many different backgrounds, man. I'll say like this: did I remember the Titans? Rasquasi, remember back in the day, Denzel Washington did the movie Remember the Titans? Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yes, I. So if I remember that movie was a very important message that no matter who you are, where you are from, you can find a way to work with somebody. You got to find a commonality. We have more in common, believe it or not, than we have in differences. Of course, we're all going to have our differences, but we are human. We're going to have a lot more in common than we have in disagreement. Let's focus on our in common because the goal is, again, to fight the Armageddon.
Yes.
And you cannot fight the Armageddon on the island. No. It's not going to happen.
No.
You're going to lose. You're going to lose. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't got time to play games. You're going to lose. Find once.
And I want to stick a pin. I want the ones to know this brethren has lived through war. You know what I mean? So when you see the brethren talking to I, he's a brethren who's seen the horror. He's lived in hell. This is a brethren that, because war is hell. So this is one of our fire angels who survive out of the pits of hell to come and give us this testimony. So I want the item to when you see a family member murdered in front of you at 8 years old, you know what I mean? I can only imagine what this brethren got through, you know what I mean? But one of the other things, when I look at the Chazmach Tafedi, the Chazmach Tafari in Ethiopia, and when you realize as soon as His Majesty had the power with his anointed consciousness, he embarked on a process of mass education.
Yes.
Because what you were saying about the literacy, what did he do first? He started to send young Ethiopians abroad because in Ethiopia, they didn't have formal education outside of the church. They had a palace school, which was established when he was 13 years old in the Menelek's palace with some of the children of the nobles. And then you had the church schools if you're learning to become a deacon, or you learn is and how to read the ancient scrolls, but they didn't have any modern widespread education in Ethiopia. The first thing His Majesty did was to embark on a process of mass education, because again, if we're talking about liberation, you have to educate your population. Without education, the people become a liability to themselves because they are easily tricked. All of these jihadists, and I think Out Furno Fire dropped such a great sound, and I saw the eye sound why you can't come in. King, don't worry yourself. Perfect love to the eye family. We love the eye sounds. Out Furno Fire said, Libyan destabilization has been used by the West to fund rebel groups as an extension of the war on terror, Islamic fundamentalism. And so true, because when they destabilize these places, you have all these people dispersed. You have all these young people with no jobs, no way. And then you have these mysterious people who come that have modern weapons, they have cash, they have drugs, they have they have women a lot of times. They're giving you all of the creature comforts, and you as a poor rural or ghetto youth getting all of these things. And the one thing that they say is, we just needed to kill these people for us, because you know what I mean? These people are evil people, and these youths don't have any way to do any due diligence to know what they're doing. They're just pawns on the chessboard, and they're being manipulated. So it's very hard to manipulate educated population. So this is what His Majesty was up against, and this is why he took the portfolio of Minister of Education onto himself. And as Rastafari, as Pan-African, our education campaign always has to be paramount, because we can't assume that people know what we know. We are the chosen few who have, we love read books, we love but most people, as I say, most people don't even know what's coming this summer with the gas price and the thing. They just experiencing, they just living day to day. They don't know that this thing is going to get worse.
It's getting worse, Getting worse.
They don't know. And remember, the Straits of Hormuz is still closed.
Yes.
Even if it opens tomorrow, the summer still mess up, because it takes a while to get the supply chain back on stream. So every day that strait is closed, the longer this catastrophe is going to last. So we are going into a situation where the fall, the rest of this year almost, and this is going to be worse than COVID, because if it costs you $300 to fill up your gas tank, where are you going? Are you going to be driving up and down? You know what I mean? So we got to realize what's coming, and we got to come together. So I really big up the IPAMJ every day for supporting the platform and sharing the experience to let people know how real it is, coming from a war zone, having to survive. And as you said, you can see the writing on the wall. What is the price of gas where you are right now?
Yes, give thanks. That's a great question. That let's say like this. Iman was in Cali, right? I was living there. I was enjoying life, but it wasn't great. The gas price was crazy. But I left to come to another state to escape the crazy gas prices. And I buck up in the same situation because the gas price right now for the gas that I got to put in my car is about to be $5 in a state. Think about this. I left Cali. Cali we known for being expensive. That's what it is. Everybody escaping because the price is getting ridiculous. Yes. Everything is getting ridiculous. So people are moving more to the Midwest. But guess what? The Midwest is starting to resemble California. So what is going on? $5 for gas? Do you know the average person here in the Midwest does not have the means to just? But you got regular gas is $4. That's just regular gas. I'm giving $5 because I deal with a different type of vehicle. But regular, $4. Who have $4 regularly just to go buy a gallon of gas regularly? That
Working
means
home.
you got to work from home because it's going like the guy said. Once you get into the summertime, it's going to get worse because we already know in general, without the war, without them manipulating things the way they do, they always just playing with things anyway. They make it bad, they make it terrible, right? But now with the war, and it's going to be summertime. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I Yeah, it's gonna be bad. I hate to say it. I am not gonna lie to the eye, but a lot of people are gonna go through that separation life because, and it's unfortunate, but let me say it like this: a lot of ones here in the United States, they brought it on themselves. Let me just say it like that. And unfortunately, they brought it on to the whole world. And that's the problem because they're thinking, oh, we're just going to despite Black folks here in America because we don't want them to ever have power or have the ability to be able to rule their stuff and run and live their life free. So we're going to put a hatred force in power so we can eventually get them all out because that's what they're trying to do. But guess what's happening? In the midst of all that, you are destabilizing your whole economy. I mean, there's so many things they're doing that is not only affecting the world, it's affecting them right here. Their children have to go to the war that they don't even want to fight. Their children have to go, the rich billionaires their children are chilling. What Donald Trump's son doing? He ain't worried about the war. That boy probably out there doing some things he ain't supposed to be doing, right? He probably doing a whole bunch of negative stuff. But he chilling. But another person, everyday child, they in the war for what? For what? Because these people want to just keep building wealth over the dead bodies of people they stepped over and they put in the ground because they feel they need to be the supreme ones. Because that's all this is about. This is about white supremacy, racism, right? This is the playbook, like the guy said. This is all it's about. They want to rule, and they want to rule with impunity. They don't want to have no accountability.
Global hegemony.
Yes,
with the unipower. But the thing is that the innocent get trampled. You know,
all the time.
This is why we have to prepare. This is why we've been sounding the trumpet here on the Lion Voice Network for many months.
Come together.
Yeah, it's getting hotter. It's getting hotter. That being said, we're gonna bring this to a close tonight. And apologies, you saw Earthquake. He came on the platform, but the Wi-Fi, I'm gonna have to do him pre-recorded, and then we'll have it on the episode in the future. But it gave us an opportunity. The Most High wanted us to talk about African liberation and what's happening right now. And I see we got 41 people on the live, so big up if you're watching live. I know hundreds will watch on the replay. So we want to just leave the item with knowing that it's preparation time. It's a serious time. The price of gas is going to continue to go up. They're most likely going to go back to physical fighting within the next few weeks. And if they do that, Iran has already said that they're going to take out Saudi Arabia, Dubai, all of those places, which is prophetic because the UAE, which is Dubai, Abu Dhabi, they've been funding the genocide in Sudan. They've been funding a lot of destabilization on the continent because they are trying to get as much gold as they can. They've been hoarding gold from around the continent, so they've been funding a lot of conflicts. So when they get destroyed, it's going to free up certain things on the continent. So I've been saying that this war is going to suck all of the resources from the colonizer and the slave driver, which is the European descendant and the Arab descendant. It's gonna suck all of their resources, and it's gonna give Africa some breathing room. So even though it looks dreadful for Africa right now, remember that a lot of finance is going into that destabilization, and we can't underestimate what's gonna happen when that pressure comes off of Africa a little bit. The resilience, I think Burkina Faso Mali, Niger have shown the resilience, and Outferno Fire always is very critical of the AES because of their backing by Russia. But I have not seen anything that Russia is doing that diverges from the national interests of these countries. You know what I mean? Yet it still can happen. Don't get us wrong. We're not naive. It still can happen, which is why I don't put them in the same light as the West, because the West support of their proxies in Africa is directly against their own interests or the people that they're supporting. So there's a big difference between the AES and their drive to being sovereign states, and West funding these puppets that are working against their own national interests. They're not building any refiner. They're not building any value added. AES is building infrastructure in the country to benefit their people. I have a brethren that just is coming from Burkina Faso, so we're gonna have him on the platform shortly. And he's going to give a first-hand report about what he saw on the ground. He toured the whole country, so we're going to be bringing him forward to talk about the reality of Burkina Faso on the ground. But we have that distinction, you know what I mean? Again, Russia and China can come in and turn into colonizers, and we don't put that past them. We're not saying that that's not the case, but right now, the strength that they're giving aligns with the national interests of those African nations for their independence. And there's no way that the AES can fight against these terrorists that have satellite data, tracking, all of the latest technology without another major power in their corner that can also counteract what's going on. You know what I mean? So that's just the reality of how the World War III is being fought. But that being said, we're going to seal up Saturday. Make sure you join us on Saturday. We have Dr. Paliani from out of Malawi. We're going into the history of Rastafari in Malawi on Saturday, 10 a.m. So make sure you join us. It's going to be another educational work that takes place on Saturday. This is African Liberation Month. We are exploring African voices. We want to know about what's going on with Rastafari on the continent. The 23rd, we're going to be hosting a panel. It's going to be co-hosted by our very own Queen Mother Moses. And we're going to be having Africans from Guinea, from Malawi, from Botswana, from Sierra Leone on that panel. And we're going to be talking about liberation from an economic lens. So stay tuned for that. Russ Palm J, let the people know how they can support the I platforms, and give us your final word song.
Yes, first of all, I want to give thanks for the I just have this platform and bringing all of I and I on to just commune and be one and learn, because a lot of people are learning from what the I is doing. So I just want to give the I much respect and honor. Now, if anyone from any part of the world, because I am very digital and very global when it comes to life right now. We're in a technological age, so anybody can reach me, anyone. All you got to do is go to palmjeveryday.com. That's where you can reach me. Everything that I offer as far as services or a connection or community, you can find right on palmjeveryday.com. I see myself overall, because I've done many things, gone through many journeys, went through many valleys, through many lows. But overall, I see myself as a transformation coach, because I transform into so many different ways. But I'm still the essence of who I'm supposed to be, which is to always defend the continent, defend the motherland with honor, with respect, with love, with dignity, with integrity. All right. So I know I said I was gonna do 5, but I'm intent. I'm gonna just do 5. I'm just gonna go down just a couple of things. I'm not gonna go into the details because the IDEN can go into it later. But these are the things I want. 5 things I want the IDEN to work on. Seriously, we have to start working on this. All right, because liberation is a must. And we can't wait for nobody to liberate us or give us liberation. We have to take it. That's the one thing you gotta understand, you gotta understand. Take that. What's yours? Don't wait for nobody. All right, number 1, liberation is a must, and it starts with economic independence. Number 2, Africans must stop fighting other Africans. Let's stop it. It doesn't look good for you or the ancestors. Number 3, the youth are the real liberation army. Like I said, if we don't take care of these youth, somebody else will. Trust me, they're around, they're waiting. They want us to neglect the youth so they can take advantage of them and take them under their wings and make them go out in the world and do some harmful, terrible things. Number 4, the control of media in modern day warfare. All right. Narratives are shaped in certain ways. That's why it's important to keep following Lion's Voice Network, because we bring it real, raw from the source. Don't forget that. Okay, number 5, Africa must build strong institutions, not just strong men. Because if I came in this country as a young boy, people thought I was taking steroids. And that's just the basic build of an African man. Everybody walking around with 6 packs, it's literally like that. We don't even have we have malnourishment, but we still got
I've seen it.
So we got strong men. Nobody need to do that. We need to focus on building institution. Let's work on that. Build institution, infrastructure to facilitate the needs for our youth, because our youth are going to be the ones taking care of us. So let's take care of them. I give thanks for the eye having me on this platform, and I give thanks to all the viewers that have been watching. Keep watching. Don't stop watching. The Lion's Voice Network is where it's at. Give thanks, Aya.
Give thanks. And I wanna just read something quickly. And Palm J is part of our Lion Pride on Patreon. He's one of our monthly subscribers. So you see the caliber of people in the community that we're building. But I want to read something. This is from Empress Danielle. She was on this platform. She said she has some information that she's going to be presenting in the next town hall meeting. And she said that she was at an international business meeting. And she said this information will provide insight into how we need to prepare ourselves for things that are coming. So how and what to stock up on, herbs to source, electricity, security, and much more. So if you want to be part of our community, our inner circle, you want to join the like minds, we have all kind of intelligent people, and it's like a vetting, because anybody who is supporting this channel is a peculiar person. You know what I mean? Yes, it's a highly action-minded person that's going to become a monthly subscriber. So if you want to be part of that community, and big up Josh Shiloh, who just joined our Patreon today. He's a trucker, EWF member as well. Big up yourself, King. Welcome to the family, and join our community, because we are going to be preparing ourselves. Not everything is going to be on the front street, on the main channel. Some things we're going to keep within the inner circle, you know what I mean? Certain little things is not to be shared on these, because these are highly policed and censored airwaves. We have to understand that. So certain things we take it offline. But this is a funnel for, again, like-minded people. So if you're interested, if you love the content, support the platform, become part of our Patreon. You can come in as little as $5 a month. You know what I mean? As little as $5 a month. Start there. We have a lot of people who start at $5, and then over time they raise it to $10. So we're still trying to hit 50 people, which, we're about to hit 70,000 subscribers, but less than 50 people who are supporting monthly. It look I kind of look away, but I don't take it personal because I know where we're coming from as a people and what we have to overcome. We chose the hardest niche, which is Rastafari, Pan African niche. You know what I mean? We historically don't support each other economically like that. You know what I mean? Especially in the digital platform. So we're making history here, and we're asking the item to become part of history. We want to create animated films. We want to have a full production studio. That's the vision for the Lion Voice Network, Rastafari centric Pan African content. All kinds, blockbuster movie, all of that. We want really take this to a heights because we know that Africa's a young continent and they need content that feeds them. You know what I mean? We don't want to have content that's not feeding the young people, and they love Rastafari, but we don't want other, wait for Paramount to make a movie like One Love when we supposed to have our own Rastafari production studios that can take on all type of work on that level. But that doesn't exist, so we have to build it from the ground. And if it exists, it has to be crowd-funded, because if it's not crowd-funded, then the sponsors dictate your budget. The people who are paying the bills, they're the ones who are going to call the shots. So I've been very intentional of coming to the audience to fund this platform, because that gives us power. Once it's audience funded, then we have power, because nobody can tell us what we can make, what we can do. We have the people supporting. So come on board the ship and help us to grow this into the powerhouse that has become. Tonight was just a glimpse. We had a guest. The guest was not able to join Wi-Fi. We just pulled some people out of the comments, and you see the quality of the reasoning that we were able to have just from our community that we've built here. So we're building something special here, unprecedented. And when you see, I just know I'm not alone. I am just a representative of a wider community that is manifesting and coming together on this platform. And we're not going to stop. Saturday again, we will be here with Dr. Paliani, Rastafari in Malawi. Set your calendar, 10 a.m. Saturday. Big up Akashic Records, new commercial for the platform. If you have a product or service you want to advertise, reach out. We're building an economic hub as well. And also support the guests. Go to Palm J every day. Subscribe. Let's make sure he's monetized on all his platforms. We want to get him over 1,000 subscribers on all his platforms. Super Citizen and Palm J every day. Go over on YouTube right now. Click that subscribe button. Let's launch our community. Let's empower each other. Let us rise, because it don't make sense Lion Voice rise and we by ourselves and then we have a big target because Lion Voice alone. No, we're done with that. The whole away. That's why the lion is the true king of every habitat, because the lion move with a pride. You know what I mean? Distinguish the lion from the tiger, because the tiger big and bad, The tiger is a bad man. But the lion have him brother with him. The lion have him lioness with him. So you can't chat to the lion, you know what I mean? So we come in as a force, you know what I mean? So if you want to be part of our Lion Pride here, join the Lion Pride on Patreon, and we'll continue to bring you this enlightening, enriching content. Why? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion Voice.
Greetings, this is Shiloh. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Shiloh said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Yes, job people, this is Michael Shemai representing. I say, hear the lion voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it's Exodus. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the Lion's Voice.
African pride, root of all nations, boy. I tried with the lion, the Rastafari. Lion of it tried with lioness like I do. Empress on the front line, we need you. Well, this is Medicine, the steady one, and you are now tuned in to the Lion's Voice Network. What the lion fought for do? Scorch them. Roast and parch them.
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
The time has come for lions to tell our own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I'm Rastafari chilling from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to your Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, look how we work together, oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Yeah, like Rastafari, His Majesty and Empressment and blessed. Yeah, man, hailing from Rastafari, Rastafari here.
Aye.
Empress Manel, Alliance Science. Oh, you're wrong. Universally unfold, be told. Oh. Blessed love, this is Itege Idama, and it's time for the lioness and the lion's voices to be heard. This is the Lion's Voice, Rastafari.
Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the Lion's Voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use yet an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Rastafari, the Lion's Voice.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the Lion's Voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the Lion's Voice, Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to the Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the Lion's Voice. Raw.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the Lion's Voice.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.